Narcissistic behaviours can be similar to those of people who are not narcissistic. They can be similar to those of behaviours, people with other disorders, other problems, people who are stressed, people who are anxious, people who are just going into that defence mode. When it comes to dealing with a narcissistic individual, it's a pervasive pattern of behaviour. It's who they are as a person. They have that sense of entitlement. They are incredibly exploitative. They're envious of others. They lack the empathy to care. They have that arrogant and haughty behaviour. They believe they're special, they're grandiose. They have that preoccupation with themselves, and they display this behaviour on a regular basis. If they fall silent on you, they fall silent on their friends and their family when they're not getting what they want from you, or when someone dares to call them out, not because you've insulted them and told them that they're ugly or they're fat or they're not capable. They've not fallen silent on you because you've insulted them in that way. They've fallen silent on you because you've insulted their sense of entitlement by daring to say no to them. So when it comes to dealing with a narcissistic individual, you will often notice, due to them lacking in empathy, they're extremely bad listeners. They'll listen to you when they want to extract information from you that they can happily use against you. After they've got that information that they want that they can use against you, they're not listening to you. They can ask you where you're going on holiday, and as soon as you start speaking, they switch off. And then as soon as you recognise they're not listening and you stop talking, they go on and on and on about where they're going and how excited they are and how amazing it's going to be for them. Share bad news and they have always suffered far worse than you. Share good news, they've always done far better, or they know someone who's done far better. They fail to give a straightforward answer to some of the most simplest of questions. You can be invited to somebody's wedding and you can say, hey, in 3 months' time, we've been invited here. Are you okay with that? And I don't know what I'm doing then. Because they've got to be the most important person in the room. So they don't make those plans with you. And if they do make those plans with you, they break those arrangements because they believe they're entitled to do that. And it's those false promises that they make and then let you down. It's frustrating when someone won't answer a simple question. And we're all capable of doing this. Someone can ask us something and we can answer their question with a question to gain more clarification. A narcissist answers the question with a question to avoid the original topic of conversation. You know when you're around a narcissist, you can avoid answering something because you know they've asked you that question so that they can break a promise on you, or so they can rage out at you, so you end up walking on eggshells around them. With a narcissist, it's not to avoid conflict, it's not to avoid pain and suffering as such, it's because they believe that they don't have to answer to you. They blame everybody else for their problems. Nothing is ever their fault. The only time they admit fault, and it's a fake way of doing it, is when they can be self-righteous, when they can claim that they only did it for the other person's own good. Other than that, they pass the blame on to everybody else. Yes, we can have had toxic parents, we can have had a toxic friendship or relationship, we can have lost our job, and we have to learn to move forward and to let go. With a narcissist, they hold on to bitter and resentment and grudges for things that they actually did to other people. It's always somebody else's fault. They don't take responsibility for their behaviour. They're very resentful when you're sick, when you're poorly, because you can't serve them. Or if you have some form of serious illness, you're getting the attention and they're not. They don't like this. Unless you're in the honeymoon stage of a relationship with them, and then they'll be super attentive and tell everyone how amazing they are at looking after you. Other than that, they have no interest in you. They will happily walk ahead metaphorically and physically. They believe they're superior. They believe they are above you. So they will happily walk ahead. They will happily race ahead. Now, when people are in a rush, you can naturally walk ahead and try and hurry people along. With a narcissistic individual, when you're in a rush, they'll happily walk behind you. They'll happily sulk and drag their feet like that toddler that doesn't know any better. They will use the silent treatments in order to control a situation, in order to punish you, in order to cut you off, in order to create an atmosphere. They will happily fall silent on you, and they will create an argument so that they can fall silent, so that they can go and impress a stranger. Now, when we meet new people, we can all put our best side forward. We're still putting ourselves forward. We're putting our best version of ourselves forward, but we're still putting ourselves forward. We're still putting out the things that we enjoy, our personality. Because we can all have that side when we're stressed or anxious or being provoked. We can all have that side when someone has betrayed us. So when you meet someone, you're putting your best side forward. With a narcissist, they're making up who they are based on the stranger they're trying to impress, the stranger's personality, or who the stranger would like the narcissist to be. They're playing the victim of how their family won't talk to them, even though they've fallen silent on their family, so that they can gain the sympathetic attention. They go all out to ruin special occasions because it's not about them. They're not gaining that attention that they so desperately crave from people, and they're envious of other people's success and happiness. They might latch on if it makes them look good, but if they can't gain anything from it, they're going to go all out to ruin it. They can ruin it by creating an argument before the event. They can ruin it by being incredibly obnoxious while they're there. They will go all out to ruin another person's special occasion, or to find a way to bring the attention back onto themselves. They're envious of the qualities that they once admired within you. We can admire someone who is confident, someone who is successful, somebody who is happy, someone in a nice, steady, stable relationship. Intelligent people, good-looking people. We're all capable of admiring these qualities within other people. And we can all be drawn to people like this because narcissistic people will use charismatic charm and their arrogance to appear confident. So we can all be drawn to people like this. However, the majority of people are pleased for those other people. You might kind of think, wow, I'd like that. Right, how have you achieved it? What can I adapt so that I can work on myself and achieve a similar thing? With a narcissist, they're drawn to this, and then it threatens their fragile ego. It threatens their self-esteem, and they go all out to devalue that person, to sabotage that person, to take away the very qualities the narcissist was once envious of. They will change the way you dress by simply just buying you the clothes that they want you to wear and then being offended when you don't wear them. Change the way you have your hair. Accuse you of trying to impress someone, which is what they're usually doing. And they never take responsibility for their behaviour. It's always somebody else's fault and never their own. The only time they take responsibility is if they can act self-righteous in what they did in order to try and gain the admiration, or just to simply place that fear into somebody so that no one dares stand up to them because they recognise what the narcissist has done to someone else. Any signs of narcissistic behaviour that you notice, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books out on Amazon: 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, and how to create boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries. They'll be in the description also if you'd like to go and check them out. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.